So today we're sitting here, I'm working on some tackle and you know, just kind of doing the organization for 2024. It's raining outside. We're kind of locked in the shop, but you know, we got to thinking about the schedule coming out and kind of what I think about it for 2024. You know, and I can go back to 20 years ago when I used to fish team tournaments, you know, or BFLs or something like that, and the schedule was released. It was like, oh my gosh, I got to look at the schedule. And when you look at it, no matter if you're fishing team, BFL, the Elite Series, you always kind of highlight some, and some you're not really that fired up about. Some you don't like because there's no place to stay. Some you like because you got a buddy that lives there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the schedule, kind of talk about it, what I expect, the reason I'm doing tackle, what baits I might need, and things like that. And I want to start by saying this. 2024 for me is going to be a super exciting year. And the reason being, number one, and the only one, is I'm done building my house. I'm done building my shop. That's what I've done the last 2 years. So this year is 100% focused, hopefully, on fishing. You know, it's just, I get to go fishing, not worry about phone calls, any of that kind of stuff. And yeah, so excited to go. I mean, it's still deer season. I'm in here working on tackle. So starting the schedule, we're going to go to Toledo Bend the last of February. And so I'm going to start and going through these. I know that you guys see some of the same lakes that we've been to. When I get excited sometimes when we've been to some of the old school lakes. Toledo is a good example, but I've never been there that time of year. So that automatically gets me a little bit excited because of the unknown. You know, I'd much rather go to a new lake as a lake that I've never been to, just because you don't know what's around the next corner, as opposed to, you know, some of them where we go the same time of year, the same lake, and it's just the same thing. So Toledo Bend, February 22nd, they are going to catch them. It's going to be a February event. You can just about bank on the weights are going to be spread. There's going to be guys that's going to catch 30, maybe more. There's going to be guys that catch 20, and there's going to be guys that's not going to catch anything. But I'm excited about that one just because of the unknown. And, you know, being the first event of the year, everybody's going to be jacked up. I mean, your jig won't even touch the bottom. Everybody's going to be so fired up. So we're going to give that a check mark as good to go. Excited about it. Now, I'm not going to say that I'm going to be the dude to beat, so we're not that excited, but I'm just saying super excited about it. Big weights, big fish. Somebody will catch a 10-pounder and start the year off right. Next event, the following week, we go to Fork, giant weights, okay? And it's kind of the same for me on that. It's the unknown. So it's going to get a check mark. I've never been there that time of year. They're going to catch, I like to catch big ones. I pay a lot of money to go fishing. I like to catch big ones. That's going to be a good event. And it's going to be an event where it will take 100 pounds, easy. And there's going to be a 10-pounder caught. Just bank on it. So the next one, we go to Grand for the Classic. The Grand is literally 1 hour from here. I've had and a lot of you guys watching know, we're going to mark one on the calendar as, not that I expect to win, but I'm going to be disappointed if I don't scare the heck out of a lot of people that Classic. That Classic, if I had to choose, and they're like, all right, what do you like and what do you not like about it? Well, when the schedule first came out, and last year when they announced it, I saw the dates, and I'm like, that's not my, I don't have a big advantage there because, you know, in the past it was earlier, a little bit. The water's colder, fishing's tougher. I kind of, had some experience there. So I was like, I don't know about that. But then I got to thinking, well, with live scope now, and if it was earlier in the year, then I don't have that much advantage because everybody gets to see, and everybody goes and practices and all that kind of stuff. So I actually kind of like this because this date is wide open right now. I mean, if you're up there right now, you're an Elite Series angler and you're idling around, looking for brush piles and looking for stuff like that, that's a date where every fish might be on the bank. But it's also a date where it could be wide open. I mean, that is just an unknown on what the fishing is going to be like. But excited, absolutely. And I'm going to be I'm not going to be very happy if I don't, you can't say on the Classic because the stars have to line up that you're going to win. But I'm going to be aggravated if I'm at least not in the chatter on the last day. So check mark. Golly, we're going to go through the schedule. I'm 3 for 3 on check marks. Actually, this is going to get 2 check marks. That is just hopefully Classic don't go like the whiteboard does. Hopefully the Classic goes our way. Harris chain, super excited. And the reason being, notice the date. We've been there. I've only been there once. Which was the last time, and I had a good finish. But look at the date, totally different. We're not going to be dealing with fronts. Everybody's perception is you go to Florida in January and February, and they just, 10-pounders just jump in the boat. That's not the case. You can catch a 10-pounder any cast down there, but you have these fronts come through, and they're trying to spawn and all that kind of stuff. In April, the fronts are done. For the most part, spawning's done, and they're going to eat. So it should be more consistent. And I'm going to be really, I haven't had great finishes in Florida. I've had some decent ones, but super excited about that one. St. John's kind of the same way. I've been there several times now. That place burns me. I've had some of the best practices and not caught anything. But I think this date right here is going to help that. It's going to make it more consistent. Check mark. May 9th through 12th. We go to Murray. Last year was the first time we went to Murray. I think I did okay. And actually did way better in the tournament than I thought I was going to. They caught the heck out of them. They're going to catch them again. This is going to get a question mark from me. And the reason it's being is we're going at the same time. Ballpark that we did a year ago. So what's going to happen is when everybody's driving there, they're all going to be watching, the past lives and stuff like that, and everybody's going to expect for it, and probably even myself. You're going to get hung up on what happened a year ago. You're going to try to duplicate that. You're going to waste a day and a half of practice. So that one's just kind of like, yeah, it's got big ones and it's got a bunch of them. It's a lake that is moving up every year on best lakes in the country, and it's definitely up there. But still, it's like, for me personally, I don't know how that one's gonna go down. Wheeler, June 13 through 16. I mean, you can pretty much bet that it's gonna be one of those practices where you're gonna be idling a point looking for something, and then there's going to be another dude shut down 50 yards in front of you, and he's going to start idling. And then you're going to move over here. I mean, it's just going to be, everybody's going to be scanning, everybody's going to be idling. It will probably be an offshore deal. For the most part, a lot of guys will catch them offshore. Hopefully for me, that there's enough fish left up shallow. I mean, I love fishing offshore. Contrary to popular belief, I love fishing offshore, but when I do good that way, when I get to the event, my mind is made up that I'm going to fish offshore, and that's a date that it can go either way, shallow or deep. So, question mark. Smith Lake in late June. Jordan Lee joined us now, so that's going to be the Jordan Lee benefit.
Find your own fish.
Tournament, more than likely.
Find your own fish.
I shouldn't say that, but I mean, you know, he has the hand up by far on that. That's going to be a live scope. I mean, you can mark it on your calendar. That's going to be a live scope. Get out there, chase them around brush and that kind of stuff, and there'll be a few largemouth caught around the bank. But question mark is not a bad thing. It's just like I don't really know about it. But the good thing that I do like about that event is it's at a time that I've never been there. I've been in there a lot in the spring and done well. I've actually, my first top 10 of my professional career came at Smith Lake. Next we go to Champlain. I'm telling you right now, it's going to get a check mark. Every year we go there, I'm excited because it's big, you can fish, and we are going about the same time. And what happens is last year it was everybody caught smallmouth out cruising around. But the lake was super, super high. And for some reason, the largemouth just really didn't do it. So my plan on that deal is, you know, a lot of these guys are going to spend a lot of practice out there catching smallmouth. They probably are going to catch smallmouth, but it's going to be, I'm always excited to go there. And the last one's St. Lawrence. Question mark. The reason is it's not going to be the same as it's been the last two trips. The problem, we're coming out, well, I don't know if it's 50, 60 miles from the lake. The last 2 years we've come out of Clayton, which dumps right into the lake where it's easy access to get out there. You can fish around the mouth. Problem with this event now is everybody's going to be running an hour and a half one way just to get to the lake. So that's going to be really dependent on where we're at in the points, where we're at in Angler of the Year. You know, do you stay close and try to catch 20, or do you run to the lake and try to catch one of those big 25-pound bags? So you'll probably see the weights go down just a little bit from the past 2 years in that event. For one reason and one reason only, is because we're going to lose 3 hours to 4 hours a day just getting there and getting back. But I mean, that's still a great place. They could make the lake off limits, and the St. Lawrence River is still one of the best in the country. So that's my take on 2024. We got a lot of check marks, question marks, but excited about all of them.